Guys, I'm so dumb. So, as here, I was going to tell you this really long, drawn out story about how boys are dumb. So, here's the backstory. So, I told some of you, maybe, I don't know. I met this dude at the concert I went to last week, and his name was Trevor, and he was really cool, and we, like, hit it off, I was talking to him and stuff. And then he was gonna leave, and I was like, and he said he lived at the lodges, and I was like, hey, actually, can I get your number? So, Lady Ball Strike again, asked for his number. And then I didn't text him until, like, the next day, because I don't want to freak him out. So I texted him. We actually met the band that he really liked that was there to see. When we met Fences, and I sent him a picture, and I was like, are you jealous? And he was like, not really, they changed a lot and all this stuff. And he was being, like, super salty, so I was like, okay, well, that's not very friendly. And I didn't answer him for a while. And I was like, okay. And then I finally answered him, and we, like, finished that conversation up. And that ended up being, like, Friday morning, and he was like, oh, yeah, anyways, what have you been up to? I haven't seen or heard from you in forever. 2 exclamation points. Okay, I met this kid on Wednesday, and this is Friday morning. And I was like, oh, just going to class, And then we talked for, like, that whole afternoon. That was Friday when I went to visit Timon and saw Robin and Gracie, and, like, I was driving up to Denver and texting him, and we talked, like, a lot, and we had a normal conversation about just, like, all this stuff. And then I don't even remember what I said last. I was just like, oh, I hate driving to Denver, and he didn't answer. And I was like, okay, well, maybe he got high and forgot. So then I texted him later and asked him if one of his roommates was Wyatt, named Wyatt. It's this long story about, I talked to this drunk guy, and I thought it was on the balcony that was his room, but he was like, no, lol, no, why is that funny? Or I asked why that was funny, and he was like, oh, the second no wasn't supposed to be there. And then I was like, oh, and I was like, okay, well, whatever. And I texted him. I was like, I felt weird asking and not explaining why. So I explained why, the whole story about why the drunk guy that I talked to. And then he never answered. And I was like, oh, what the fuck? Like, you'd think he'd at least have asked me to hang out, if he was so, like, what have you been up to or whatever. And I was like, he never even asked me to hang out. Like, you should come over. Not that I could have because I was going up to Denver. But then I looked at my messages just now because I was going to make this video and tell you about what he said, and he had texted me on Saturday at 7:51 and said, what are you doing? Fucking kill me. I hate my life. Okay, so moving on from that story, I just texted him and said I missed his message, so we'll see what happens there. Maybe we'll hang out this weekend. Anyways, so my next story is about, so what I was doing Saturday night was, okay, we'll back up. First of all, I have a boyfriend without benefits. Few of you may realize, but it's true. So one of my friends, Brett, I don't think any of you have met him, but I probably talked about him. We're, like, pretty good friends, I guess. I don't know. Part of it is, like, last year I hung out with all those guys, and Sean wasn't single, but his girlfriend was in California, so they were always just, like, broing around, so I could go bro around with them. And this year, like, Swords has a girlfriend, and so she's over there all the time, and then, like, Kai just is fucking weird. Like, I don't know what's Kai's deal, because I kind of liked him, so then it was awkward, but he also has a girlfriend, allegedly. I don't know. She was visiting this one weekend when I was over there. Super awkward. Anyways, and so, and then now Sean has a girlfriend, and then Osborne's just, like, weird religious person. So Brett's, like, the only one who will hang out with me, really. I mean, they will hang out, but the other guys are always busy or whatever. So anyways, so I get back from this ID camp we had for soccer, and then I knew Brett would be down to go eat, because he's always down to eat or whatever, do stuff. So I called him and was like, let's go to Witch Witch. So then we went to Witch Witch and had dinner, and, like, together, but we're friends, not dating. And then he was like, we should go to Trader Joe's, because he hadn't been to Trader Joe's yet. And so we went to Trader Joe's, we went grocery shopping together, little fucking weirdos that we are. And then we're driving back, and there was that whole thing I told you guys where Matthew McConaughey was there. This video I'll probably go over because I have a lot of stories. So then Matthew McConaughey was there, and we were talking about Matthew McConaughey. We're like, let's go to a movie. So then we decided we were going to go see Interstellar, but he invited Osborne, so it wasn't really like a date. Not that it was a date at all, but my point is, all my roommates, and apparently all of his roommates, think that we're, like each other, like, dating or whatever, and it's like we do all the stuff that a couple would do, like we hang out and stuff, or when we do hang out, it's like we're a couple, but we're not, so it's like having a boyfriend without benefits, which is really, I just thought that term was funny. So anyways, so then the rest of the story, which you'll find amusing, maybe, was after we got back from the movie on Saturday, I followed the guys up to their room, and Waggy and Kai were there, and they were drunk as fuck. So drunk. And, like, I've seen Kai drunk before, and he's kind of, like, unpredictable when he's drunk. Like, sometimes he'll be, like, really flirty, or he just, like, does, like, he tends to, like, grab girls' butts when he's drunk. I don't know, it's just this thing he does. And when he's kind of drunk, and he can be kind of, like, mean when he's kind of drunk, but when he was so drunk that he was just, like, laughing about everything. Everything was giggling, and I was like, wow, you're a lot nicer when you're really drunk. And he was like, yeah, that's what everyone keeps saying, or whatever. And I don't know, so him and Maggie were wasted, and that's why, like, it was really funny, because they were playing FIFA, and it was, like, Kai was pretty drunk, but he was still beating Brett at FIFA, because Brett's really bad at FIFA, and they just kept making bets like, oh, if Brett scores, then Waggy has to take 2 shots or whatever, because they were trying to finish this handle of Fireball, because they had drank most of the handle, but they had a little bit left that they were trying to finish. And so it just became this whole negotiating game for Kai, where he was like, well, if I score, then Waggy has to take a shot, or if Brett scores, then I'll take 2 shots or whatever to try and finish this handle, which they never actually did. Kai, like, dumps him out, the pussy. Just kidding. They were probably about to get alcohol poisoning. Anyways, and that's what my Snapchats were about, or, like, Kai was, like, running down the hallway, because he was like, I don't know if I could, Maggie's like, I don't think I could walk right now, and then Kai's like, I'll go run, so he went and sprinted down the hallway, and then the funniest thing happened, which my Snapchat story, which I watched over and over again, which you guys probably all watched too, but where Waggy was sitting on the couch, and Kai was rolling around on the ground, and Waggy's like, Kai, what's your favorite color? His voice cracked, first of all. Second of all, Kai was like, 7. And it was so funny that my brother texted me, like, that night at 3 in the morning, and he was just, like, quoted that, and he was like, that was so funny, I was laughing my ass off. And I was like, yeah, I know. And then later, Kai decided he wanted to put on a banana suit, so he puts on a banana suit, and then Waggy had been eating bananas because he didn't want to have a hangover. He's like, I need my potassium, so he had, like, been eating bananas, and someone, when Kai put on the banana suit, Waggy was throwing banana peels at him, and oh my gosh, it was really funny. And then we were talking about dick sizes, because I have felt Kai's dick, yes, I know, amazing as that is, and we were just, like, joking about it, and because Kai was really drunk, I was like, yeah, you know, I mean, you're, like, about a 6, or whatever, I don't know, just joking around, and then Waggy starts, like, touching his dick, and you can totally tell, because he has a blanket over his chest, and, like, he's, like, the blanket moving up and down, and I was like, Waggy, are you masturbating right now? And he was like, no. And I was like, get your hand out of your pants. And he was like, it's not in my pants. And I was like, well, then lift up your right hand. And he goes to lift up his hand, and you can hear, like, the elastic of his waistband snap when he lifts his hand. And I was like, you're fucking masturbating right in front of everyone. And he was like, no, I wasn't. And yeah, it was just a really amusing evening. Although I really wish I had gotten that text from Trevor, the sketchy drug boy, so I could hang out with him. So who knows, he probably hates me now. He probably thinks I'm so not into him or whatever. I don't know. Life is so hard, and I really don't want to do calculus, but that's why I made this video. So I hope that long story was amusing. Sorry if it was too long. Bye.